y'all doing today?
Strange.
Well, this is Chad and
Niecy, hey.
And check it out. We are doing a
Recap. Looking back on the 11th season of Married at First Sight.
right.
We've already touched on Brett and Olivia and Christina and Henry. And now we want to talk about
Miles and Karen.
Miles and Karen.
Karen and Miles. Miles and Karen.
So, listen, Miles is a good-looking guy.
Yep.
Karen is a good-looking girl.
Yep.
They've both got a lot going for them professionally. I mean, seemed to me like it should have been instantly a perfect match.
No.
That wasn't what happened.
No.
That wasn't. It wasn't what happened.
Miles got to breathing one time and looked at her, and his eyes was rolled, and she got scared. In fact, she said she didn't feel safe in the house, and so stuff like that was pretty just.
It was a bit much. It was a bit much. Yeah. So to start with, somehow or another, production lets Karen get a misdirected message letting her know Miles's identity prior to the wedding day.
I heard the Russians fed her that information.
You can't trust those Russians. No. You can't. So Karen takes that opportunity to go surfing all over social media and decides he's not her type.
So why are you on a show it's not like, you were walking down the street one day and they kidnapped you, put you in the back of the milk truck, took you over. You're going to get married. You signed up for this show. You signed up for this. Probably watched it.
Because you know that all your type suck.
Yeah. And that's what was wrong. Right. So that's why she came to this show. Right. And now she's going to find the guy that they match her with and decide.
He's not her type.
On her own. Like
she know what a type is, right? Because clearly you had to come to the experts because you don't know what a good type is, right?
She almost lost it. Because homeboy, he was kind of getting weary. Young bucks, they get weary.
Right. But let me tell you something. He was a trooper because I was over Miss Karen very early on, okay? I mean, cute as a button, but... Yep. Miss Karen wore Miss Cora out. That's me. I'm Miss Cora. But anyway, it was a bit much.
Yeah, it was.
It was a bit much.
She just seemed so rigid in the whole thing. Mm-hmm. In relationships, period, everybody, someone explained it once. They said it's like taking your heart out and putting it on the table and giving the other person a hammer. And inviting them that if that's what they want to do, to smash your heart. Mm-hmm. And someone said, well, why would you do that? Because you got to, and you do it every time.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, then you're missing something. You're not going to build that trust.
You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Michael from last season, from season 10. Mm-hmm. That's called being vulnerable. Oh boy, that boy must have said that a million times. I just wanted to put tape over his mouth if I heard the word vulnerable again. However, that is what you have to be.
You got to do it.
You have to be.
And she was, I felt like she wanted him to prove something, and I'm not even sure that she knew what she wanted him to prove, or was just trying to play like, I don't know.
You know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I got the impression that she wasn't purposely being standoffish or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was sincere, but it was still a standoff.
You know what? It was, most of us would say Miles was doing everything right. I think that made her suspicious. I think she kind of felt like, I kind of seen guys do everything right for a little while before, and so she wasn't sure that it was genuine. But truthfully, you're really blaming him for the mistakes of past people that he don't have nothing to do with. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there was really no indication that he wasn't being genuine. Mm-hmm. Other than, as she stated, other than the fact that he really did not express any negative feelings about what was going on in the beginning. Now, here's what's funny about that. Do you remember one of our first arguments? So I'm real good at finding everything wrong with everybody and everything. And I have to remind myself to relax with that. But I don't know how long we had been married, but I came to him with a list of things he needed to fix. Okay, so we are back following the Runaway Lash episode.
Mine.
Absolutely. He don't know what he's doing with these lashes.
Nope.
But we were talking about my list. So I came to Chad. Listen. Hold on. Because it's feeling a little. Is it running away again? No, that's just my imagination. Okay, sorry.
Run away with me.
Okay. All right, enough with runaway lashes. I came to Chad very early on, and I had a list of grievances, and these were all the things that, as far as I was concerned, he needed to fix for me to be happy in this marriage. I believe we had been married about 2 minutes, okay? And so I told him, you know, I'm not happy about this, and this, and this, and this. Now, you are free to tell me what you're not happy with me, with things that you want me to fix. And what did you want me to fix?
Nada.
At that time, he claimed he had no issues. And that's exactly how I looked at him, like, what you talking about, Willis? So he claimed he was good. I could not accept no for an answer. It made no sense to me. I know I'm not perfect. I know you've got to have an issue with something that I'm doing because I do a lot of things. He would not confess to having any issues. So that made me very suspicious for a long time. Eventually, I had to accept and understand that Chad is not like me. Like I said, I got an issue with everything, everybody. Nobody know what they're doing, as far as I'm concerned. That's me. That's my issue. Chad is not like that. He is very much I can be happy. You know, he's very much a happy wife, happy life kind of guy. I think to some extent that might be who Miles is as well. But Karen is like Miss Cora. She needed him to have an issue for her to believe that he was real.
Sometimes it's just not the case.
Sometimes it's not the case.
Have you guys ever seen this TV show called Yellowstone?
I'm sure they have, because Yellowstone's popular. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
Beth and Rip. That's who we are.
Well, Rip will kill somebody.
Yeah, he will. And I'll kill somebody. But
all right, y'all better watch out.
I'm not going to complain about. Look, I just want you to be happy, and if you were happy beating me up, then sock away.
I don't want to beat him up.
No. I don't know. That might be fun.
Please pray for him.
Yeah, I need.
But pray for him. But that was part of Karen's problem. She was kind of seeing things a little bit, kind of like some of us do. Some of us are so used to having an issue or being around people that have issues that sometimes, I guess Miles felt a little too good to be true. And you know what? Sometimes Chad feels a little too good to be true.
It's like, look. Look, sometimes you do too. But look, so I don't want to get too far away from what we're supposed to be talking about. But let me just say this. See, if I decide that I'm not, because we can always get pissed about stuff. We can always be bothered by stuff. And something that was wonderful yesterday can be horrible today. Same thing. We can always do that and play that game. But if I'm just going to try my best to make you happy, and if you try your best to make me happy, we'll be a couple of happy people.
Agreed. Agreed. It works. And
that's what I don't think Karen and Miles were ready to do it because like you say, I think she was suspicious based on stuff that had happened during the past. So, one, I
think they're getting there, though.
Don't bring the past into what you're doing now.
Absolutely.
And two, don't look for stuff to be mad about because you'll find it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So, what were their other issues?
Well, Karen was very reluctant to share intimacy.
Yeah.
She was not down with that. And Miles was like what's that little girl who sang that song? I want to be down.
Brandy?
Brandy. Miles was like, Brandy, he wanted to be down. But
down in the bedroom.
yeah, she wasn't down with it, and so it created a problem.
And here's, listen, you should not push anybody faster than they want to go.
Right.
But at the same time,
you can give them a little shove in the back. No,
here's the thing.
Kidding.
Here's the thing. I understand that this experiment is a little different or a lot different than a typical marriage. But at the end of the day, sexual intimacy is a very important part of marriage. Mm-hmm. It really is. And as you always say, it's kind of cruel to let a brother sleep next to an attractive woman night after night after night and tell him he can't touch her. Mm-mm.
You don't want to hear hammer. Can't touch this. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. You
don't want to hear that in the bedroom?
No.
Especially not weeks on end.
Yeah.
And again, I understand where she was coming from, but at the same time, and listen, I don't know Karen, so I don't know her life. I don't want to pass any judgment on that. But I will say that, these days, a lot of folks kind of get busy under much shadier or less qualified circumstances. And I'm not saying she needs to be everybody by any means, but it kind of felt like he was being punished for making the commitment that past boyfriends wouldn't make.
Yeah, he was married to her. They were married.
Yeah.
For real though.
He was all in and being held to a higher standard more than likely than everybody who didn't take it to that step, So that's kind of strange.
And I'll bet he knew that.
Yeah.
I bet he knew that. And he was thinking, wait a minute, I'm the one that's here and I'm paying for Buster stuff.
Right.
Here last week. So, yeah. But it seems like when we've seen, the little recaps afterwards that Married at First Sight that Lifetime has done, it seems like they're doing pretty good, and they seem to have connected now.
I think so.
I saw another day. She was actually sitting all up on him like this.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I think once this show aired and Miss Karen saw how many women would be perfectly happy making Miles happy, she got her act together.
Yeah.
And she certainly should have, because I think she's got a good guy.
Yeah.
I think she really does. Yeah.
So, Karen and Miles, I think they have made some real stride, real progress, and they could have a good time.
Yeah.
In front of them.
They're going to make some pretty babies one of these days. All right. So that was our take on Karen and Miles. Again, don't forget to comment. Let us know what you think.
Yep. Subscribe.
Can't wait to hear it. Yeah, subscribe and come back. We are going to talk about our number 2 couple. We'll tell them.
Yep. Right after these messages.
See you later.